today I will be showing you guys how to write an ebook, how I was able to write my ebook from start to finish, and the tools that I use, including ChatGPT and Canva. This is going to be for beginners, and this is going to be a step-by-step follow through. So get your notepad, get your paper. We're about to dive deep into it. This is how you're going to be able to make money from the start. I did start my channel last year. Before I even got monetized on YouTube, I was making money from a digital product, which was my ebook. And so that's exactly what I want to show you guys, how I was able to do that, how I was able to make a substantial amount of money every single month. If you haven't seen the other videos, make sure you go ahead and check those out. But let's start with step number one. Step number one is going to be your ebook idea that you need to obviously come up with, and then you need to set a hard date. So I would recommend, if you're trying to come up with an ebook idea, I basically was like, okay, what can I talk about that I have expertise in? And so, not saying that I need to be an expert in all of the areas. My ebook, by the way, is about business credit. I figured, okay, I like to talk about business a lot in my everyday real life. And so, okay, that's what my channel is going to be about. What can I bring that people will be looking for or will be interested in? And so I'm a numbers girl. And so I was looking like, okay, business credit, people are looking for business credit or funding for their business. And then I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and talk about business credit, because I have built business credit from the ground up, and I was able to open up a party store, doing all of that. I talk about all those things. I will link some of the videos down below. Never think about like, oh, I need to be an expert in the whole subject. If you are on step, let's say D or E, but there's somebody that's like just trying to really get started. Let's say, for example, let's say I did an ebook on how to start a YouTube channel. So obviously I started a YouTube channel, right? But I'm not a pro in a YouTube channel, but I'm at like step D, for example. But if it's somebody that's coming and they're like at point A and they're like, I have no idea where to start, I have no idea what to do, that's pretty much who your ebook would be for. So never, I'm just saying all that to say, never feel like you need to have it all together. You need to have it all figured out in order for you to share this information in a digital product, because there's somebody that was always in a position that you are currently in, right? Looking to do something. So even the ebook thing, I'm no pro, but I was able to figure out. So I might be on step D or E, where you're like, okay, where do I start? And I'm like, okay, this is where I started, right? And obviously those things have worked for me. So that's going to be the logic between, that's going to be the logic with choosing your idea. And then you want to set a hard date. The reason why I say set a hard date is because when I did my ebook, I did not set a hard date. It took me about a month. I was working day in, day out. I was determined to get it done, but I wish I would have gave myself a hard date, because at least I would have put it out there in an earlier time, right? If I would have gave myself 2 weeks or something like that. And I didn't have it structured and how I'm going to tell you guys how to do it. And I think that's the advantage of me coming to be like, if I could do it all over again, this is what I would do, because now I can get the ebook done in a weekend, right? Or in 3 days or 4 days or 24 hours if you're really determined. Like, it really all depends on your skill set and your determination, but it can be done. So set a hard date. And what I always recommend is get a little sticky note, put it on the bottom of your computer, and just say, okay, my ebook will be done by blank date, and hold yourself accountable to that. Number two is going to be the ebook outline. And so the ebook outline I recommend is because there's going to be different chapters. Like in any other book, you're going to have chapters. And so when you sit down and just write out, okay, you know, the process or the steps for whatever you're going to be showing or demonstrating to your audience, you want to write that out by line, right? So let's say if it was to start a YouTube channel, you want to say 1, create a Google account. 2, you want to say choose a channel name, right? And that would be different chapters. So I would literally go and, you know, write out the different steps basically that it takes, which are the chapters, on what it takes to get to your goal, right? So that's number 2. So number 3 is going to be choosing a Canva template, and Canva is free. You can do the pro version. I have the pro version, but you do not need the pro version in order to make this happen. I will put the link for Canva and everything in the description box for you guys. Now you want to choose your inspo type of like look for your ebook. So let me show you guys Canva and how I was able to come up with my inspirational look for my ebook. So when it comes to my inspo, this is my ebook. I basically gathered a whole bunch of looks that I liked. Actually, let me show you guys what I did. So pretty much all I did, you can come here to the home page of Canva, and then you would type in ebook, and you see like it says templates. So basically the ebook templates, and then they're going to give you a whole bunch of ebook templates. When you see this, it's only because it's pro version. Like I said, I have the pro, but you can do free. And then if you like something, which I liked a few of them, I went and I started. So all you have to do is start, and then it's going to be saved to your favorites, right? So I went through like a list. I went through like a lot of them, and I was like, okay, well, I like this element, or let's say I might say I like the font of this, or I like the, you know, the design of this. I like the font of this, something like that, right? So I'll gather a few. I favorited them, and then they all went into my favorites. Then what I did, let me show you guys here. Pretty much I gathered some things. I gathered a few that I really liked, and then I basically went based on that, right? And if you have my ebook, then you'll see a lot of these things look familiar, because this is literally the inspo that I took. So I remember thinking like, okay, I like this element. I like the picture. I like how I could use this for my chapter. So in my actual ebook, I have the chapters, right? And then I have this as like a chapter page. Then I have like a worksheet. So I was like, okay, this is perfect, because I want to have a worksheet with a checklist where people can check things off, right? And remember, this is not required. This is all based on what you see fit for your ebook. So I hope this is making sense. So, and then I did use this same outline. I removed like these elements. And if you've never used Canva before, you can literally customize everything. So I was like, oh, I don't like this, but I was like, you know, I like the idea of this. I like, you know, the ideas of these elements. And I literally took these things. For my intro, I pretty much used the same idea. I put my picture here, I put my name, and then I wrote an intro for myself in the ebook. That's how you're gonna choose your inspo, right? You're going to take different elements that you feel like speak to you or what you want to do, and then you're going to bring them into one ebook. What I would say is you can do it one of two ways. You can either do like a blank page or duplicate it. So if you add a page, it'll be blank, or you could duplicate it and start like that, right? And then you could delete pages. There's so many ways you can do it, and then start customizing it from there. But this is how you're gonna basically be able to create a custom ebook with all of your information. What I would recommend, like let's say for your chapters, me personally, I would duplicate a few of these. I would change the chapter number to like 5, or let's start with chapter 1. I will go through your list that you made earlier in the video of your different topics for each chapter, and I would do that. I would start with that, and I would run through, duplicate them, and then customize this, you know, like, and this was actually I would customize everything, right? Maybe the picture. Well, I would say don't customize the pictures just yet, because that's going to be like the end, right? You just want to get all of the information on the paper. Like, let's keep it simple. So basically go through entering your 10 topics. At that point, once you do that, this is where ChatGPT comes in. So I always say I'm not the best writer. I almost failed writing in college. I am horrible at writing, but I feel like, you know, I had to do what I had to do. When my ebook came out, actually, ChatGPT was not even out. So I literally had to sit there and like do my best to like write. I mean, obviously I could write, but I'm just not the best writer. I excel in math. So with ChatGPT, what I'm gonna show you guys an example of exactly what I did with ChatGPT, right? So basically, I asked ChatGPT, can you write me a paragraph professionally about how I felt sad when my first business failed after losing $96,000 and I had to close my business. And this is the business credit and all that stuff I was telling you guys about. So they basically write a whole paragraph, but you have to remember, I gave them the basis of what to talk about. And so you can pause it and read, but pretty much they're breaking down in like the most professional, a clear way what I asked it to talk about, right? So pretty much it's giving me an extended version of my thoughts, which is needed if you want ChatGPT to write you or assist you with writing your ebook. Remember, these are your thoughts. This is your process, but this is like an assistant, and that's like the best way to think about it. So pretty much this is how you would use ChatGPT if you're not the best writer, or you just want, you know, like some external feedback to elaborate your writing. Let me say that. Then you can go through, add in text, or duplicate another page of just writing. Maybe you want to use this outline. Then you would, you know, put in the actual chapter, and then put in the info from ChatGPT, obviously add in whatever information, whatever you need to get your customers, your audience to receive the message and to produce results from the ebook that they're going to be purchasing. So I hope this is all making sense. The last step is going to be constructive criticism. I remember when I created the cover of my ebook, I sent it out to a few of my close friends, and I gave options, and I was like, which one do you prefer? A lot of them chose the same cover, right? And so that says something. That means, okay, that maybe the audience, a lot of people would like this cover picture way better than the other cover picture that I had, right? That was a good piece of constructive criticism that I was able to ask my friends about and say, okay, can you guys tell me which cover do you like? Even when it comes to the ebook, I was able to send out my ebook to a couple of my close friends and family and say, read through this, let me know what you think, let me know if you find any mistakes, things like that, right? Or maybe they might tell you, oh, this part wasn't really clear for me, things like that. It's not going to be perfect, but the better you can get ahead of any mistakes or any, things that are not clear, then you definitely want to do that. So that's why I recommend the constructive criticism portion before you actually release your ebook. And then finally, it's going to be your release date. And so with the release date, it does come to marketing. So I would say make sure you are marketing the best way you know how. Make sure you have a platform that you are going to stick with for a period of time to go ahead and market your digital product, your ebook, whatever the case might be. If you have an audience, if you don't have an audience, marketing is everything. And so the way that you're going to be able to get sales, and the way that I was able to get sales, was because I found a platform, which was YouTube, and then I learned how to master that. And so before I even made $1 from Google AdSense with YouTube or anything, I was making money from my ebook every day, every other day, And so that really boosts your confidence to be like, oh, like, damn, I'm making money. Like, I'm making money with this. And I promise you guys, the best feeling in the world is when you get the first ebook sale. Like, I remember like just being so excited. So there's no better feeling than you taking your time, putting this together, and then like actually getting sales, right? You just have to put the work behind it. It's not hard. And these steps are literally practical steps that you can start today as a beginner, to put your ebook together using Canva, ChatGPT, all of these things. So make sure you ask me all of your questions down below. I tell you guys to be as specific as possible. I'm going to answer all of your questions. All of the links will be in the description box for you guys. And then this video, I think you guys might be interested in. So I hope to see you there, and take care of yourselves. And I love you guys. Bye.